Have you ever felt like you finally met someone who truly, truly saw you, who understood you, who valued you, maybe even adored you, only to find yourself months later confused, broken, and questioning your worth? Yes, you watching me, are not alone. This is a painful and subtle art of the narcissist trust trap. Today, I want to walk with you gently through 7 psychological and spiritual ways narcissists trick you into trusting them, and why that trust was never what it seemed. Let's take a breath together. This is going to be healing. By the way, my name is Iyabo, and I'm a narcissistic abuse survivor. And on this channel, I share biblical wisdom for dealing with the scourge, the pain, and the mess of narcissistic abuse. And if you are serious about healing from narcissistic abuse, you're going to hit the subscribe button right away in order for you to become a member of this strong and supportive community where we hold hands virtually in our fight against narcissistic abuse. Thank you for subscribing. If you just did, remember to turn on notifications to be notified when we go live. So how does the narcissists get you to trust them? The first is they mirror you to win you. They mirror you to win you. Psychologically, this is called mirroring. The narcissist observes your personality. The narcissist observes your dreams. The narcissist observes even your wounds and reflects them back to you like a perfect match. As a result, you feel seen, but you're not being seen. You're being studied. You are being studied like a book. Spiritually, the Bible warns us in 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 14 that Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. The narcissist becomes what you crave as a result. But it's only a mask. And it's only a matter of time for the mask to slip. Personally, I also experienced narcissistic mask firsthand. However, I got out by God's grace and just compiled the 11 things I did to quit in a free ebook, which you can also get a copy of by sending the word hacks in the comments. And so right away, go ahead and send HSCKS in the comments for you to get a copy. We are waiting for you. Don't procrastinate. Okay. And so the first thing they do to get them to trust, to get you to trust them, is they mirror you. Secondly, they share fake vulnerability. They share fake vulnerability, and they might tell you a sub story early on about their traumatic childhood and how an ex betrayed them or how lonely they've been. It's all a sub story and is a bait. It's a bait to catch you. It's a bait to get you to trust them. Psychologically, this manipulates your empathy. It draws out your rescuer instincts. It draws out your fix them instinct, because some of us have this fix them mentality. And spiritually, it bypasses your discernment. The sub-stories bypass your discernment. You begin to think, maybe, quote and unquote, maybe I'm the one who can help heal them. But in truth, they are using your heart as leverage. They are using your heart as a playground. And so beware. Be very careful of that. Now, what is the third way? Okay, before I go to the third way, let me quickly talk about hashtag Iyabo Oyawale Live, which is our Saturday live stream. We go live on this channel every Saturday discussing different aspects of narcissistic abuse. And this Saturday, we're going to delve deep into narcissistic cheating and how you can heal if you've ever been cheated upon. And so be in the live audience. It is a must attend. I tell you, it's going to be an explosive session. Bring a friend along, and thank you for doing that in advance. The third thing they do to get you to trust them is they love bomb you with intensity, love bomb you with endless compliments, constant testing, sudden declarations of forever. Love bombing feels like a whirlwind romance, divinely orchestrated even. But psychologically, it's about flooding your nervous system with dopamine and oxytocin, those bonding chemicals. And so you feel bonded to the narcissist. Spiritually, this is emotional sorcery because it clouds your clarity. It clouds your sense of judgment. And Proverbs 4:23 says, above all else, guard your heart. Above everything, guard your heart. And yet, they slip past the gates dressed as a soulmate. And yet, they are not your soulmate. Personally, I also experienced the pain of narcissistic abuse firsthand. However, I got out by God's grace and just compiled the 11 things I did to quit narcissistic abuse in a free ebook, which you can get for immediate download by sending the word hacks in the comments. Send HSCKS in the comments right away for you to download a copy of the ebook. Thank you if you just did. It means a lot. And so what is the next thing that narcissists, the fourth thing that narcissists do to get you to trust them? They use flattery as a weapon. And so you are not just liked, you are idolized. Quote and unquote, they say things like, you're nothing like my ex. Quote and unquote, they say things like, you're the only one who gets me. But be careful. Be very careful. Flattery is not the same as admiration. They are different things. Psychologically, it's called idealization, a setup for later devaluation. And you know, when I talk about the abuse cycle, I talk about idealization, devaluation, and discard. And so the starting point is idealization, which is what you experience at the beginning of the journey, and it's the setup for later devaluation. And spiritually, flattery is called out in Proverbs 29 verse 5. A man who flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his feet. Trust then becomes the snare. It becomes a trap for you. The fifth thing they do to get you to trust them is they play the empath card. They play the empath card. Empath, E-M-P-A-T-H. Now, some narcissists even pretend to be empaths. They talk about energies, they talk about healing, they talk about spiritual awakening, whatever language your soul responds to, whatever language your soul understands. They speak your soul's dialect, they speak your soul's language, but it's all performance. Psychologically, this is emotional manipulation in disguise. Spiritually, it's the spirit of deception and it's the spirit of Satan. And don't forget that I've got a video on the subject called The Narcissists Are Agents of Satan, and I'll link to it in the description. 1 John 4 verse 1 says, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits. And narcissist uses spiritual language to bypass your spiritual radar, to bypass your spiritual gates, to bypass your spiritual discernment. And so you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful of the narcissists. The sixth thing they do to get you to trust them is they create a false sense of safety. They promise stability. They promise a future together. They promise loyalty. They might even bring up marriage or shared purpose very early on, but it's false safety. And psychologically, this disarms your defenses. You drop your defenses. You drop your guards down. You start planning your life around a fantasy. You start planning your life around a dream, which will never come true. Spiritually, it is a counterfeit covenant. It mimics God's designs, but it's rooted in control, not love. It mimics what God designs, but it's rooted in control and not love. And real love, by the way, builds slowly. Manipulation rushes because control can't wait. And so they rush. They are in a rush every blessed day, and you will know it in your sense, but somehow you feel like he said this, she said that, and let me believe him or her. And the seventh thing they do to get you to trust them is they exploit your Christian values, values like forgiveness, values like patience, values like loyalty. And if you're a person of faith, they'll use your own heart against you. And so you hear things like, quote and unquote, you're supposed to forgive, quote and unquote, relationships take work, quote and unquote, God doesn't like quitters. You're going to hear these. But they are not seeking reconciliation. That's the honest truth. They are seeking your surrender. They are seeking that you give them your heart, give them your life. Psychologically, this is gaslighting with a spiritual twist. We can even call it spiritual gaslighting. And spiritually, this is a misuse of scripture to keep you in bondage, misuse of scripture to trap you in the narcissist den forever. And God is not the author of abuse. Nope. God is against abuse 100%. He is the author of truth. He is the author of peace. He is the author of freedom. And in closing, I'd like to say that if you trusted a narcissist, it wasn't because you were stupid. Don't see yourself as stupid. Don't see yourself as an idiot. Don't see yourself as weak. It was because you were sincere. Yeah. Your trust is not your weakness. And I want you to know that your love is not the problem either. Their deception is the problem. And the Bible tells us in John 10:10, the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. But I have come that I might have life and have it more abundantly. So Christ has come that you might have life. I might have life. And so let's key into what Christ came to give us. Let's key into the sacrifice of Christ on the cross, because he has our best interests at heart. The narcissist only has his or her own selfish interests at heart. And I want you to know you are not broken because you fell into the trap of the narcissist. You are awakening. And now you can rise. Rise from the ashes. Rise from the pain. Rise from the mess of narcissistic abuse. Rise from the scourge of narcissistic abuse. Trust is sacred. And so from today, I want you to guard your trust wisely and heal with intention. If this video spoke to your heart, I'd like you to like this video. Yes, when you do, you're telling YouTube the kind of content to suggest. You also leave a comment telling us which of these 7 tricks caught you off guard the most. Leave a comment and also share this video with someone who needs it. Don't forget to leave a comment, like I said, with which of these 7 tricks caught you off guard the most, because your story could help someone else break free. Also subscribe for more healing, faith-based insight and empowerment after narcissistic abuse. And even if you're yet to break free, subscribe to this channel, because we've got content and community that will support you in your journey towards breaking free. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to check our community page as well as the descriptions to every video, because we got updates that can benefit you there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.